You know what destroys more lives than poverty itself? It's not laziness, not lack of education, not even misfortune. It's false hope. False hope wrapped in the shiny, seductive packaging of entrepreneurship. And I need to tell you something that every business guru will hate me for. But after 98 years of living, 70 years of investing, watching and analyzing businesses, and observing countless people chase dreams only to lose everything, I cannot remain silent any longer. Let me be clear from the start. Starting a business is not the path to wealth. For most people, it is a slow, painful road to financial ruin disguised as courage. And yet, everywhere you look today, this lie is being preached like gospel. Right now, someone reading this is thinking about quitting their job. Maybe they've saved $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000. They've devoured every YouTube video, every book, every podcast that promises them freedom, riches, and independence. Everyone's saying the same thing. Be your own boss, build something, escape the 9 to 5, get rich. And they are about to make a decision that could destroy the next 5, 10, or even 15 years of their life. I want to show you 4 things. The real statistics about business failure, the ones nobody ever talks about, and why most advice is designed to sell courses, not create wealth. What actually creates wealth for the average person, and why it is the exact opposite of the entrepreneurial fairy tale you're being sold. The only scenario where starting a business makes sense, and a concrete framework for doing it without risking everything. What to do if you've already started a business and it's failing? Because denial is the silent killer of dreams. By the time you finish reading, you'll understand why I, Daniel Ruth, 98 years old, have spent a lifetime investing in businesses but almost never recommend starting one, because building wealth and starting a business are completely different endeavors. Confusing the two is the fastest way to destroy your financial life. The lie everyone believes. Entrepreneurship has become a modern religion, and like all religions, it demands faith over evidence. Believe in yourself. Take the leap. Trust the process. That's what they say. But nobody tells you about the graveyard of dreamers who took that leap and crashed into reality. Let's look at the numbers. According to the Small Business Administration, 20% of businesses fail within the first year. 50% fail within 5 years. 70% fail within 10 years. These aren't opinions. These are documented facts. But here's the kicker. Of the 30% that survive 10 years, most don't make their owners wealthy. In fact, they often make less than they did in their corporate jobs, while working twice as many hours and bearing 10 times the stress. I've seen this for decades. I've watched a man leave a stable $60,000 a year job, invest $40,000 into a new business, work 90-hour weeks for 18 months, and at the end, make $35,000 a year, with no health insurance, no retirement contributions, no vacation. He called himself an entrepreneur. I called him someone who bought a low-paying job with no benefits. Why does this happen so often? Because the advice comes from survivors. The people selling courses, giving speeches, and writing books are the 30% who made it. They genuinely believe their path is universal. But that is like a lottery winner telling everyone to play because it worked for them. Survivorship bias is the deadliest teacher in business. For the 99% of cases nobody talks about, here's how it goes. Someone gets an idea. They love it. They can't tell if it's good because they're blinded by passion. They write a business plan, fiction dressed up as financial projections. They convince themselves, and maybe a few friends, that success is inevitable. They take their life savings, money that could have been compounding for 30 years, and invest in unproven assumptions. Then reality hits. The market doesn't care. Costs are triple, revenue is half, competitors appear, supply chains fail. Month by month, savings vanish while they work harder than ever. Stress destroys sleep, health, and relationships. Hope becomes a trap, and when the money finally runs out, they're left with debt, exhaustion, and regret. Meanwhile, the colleagues they left behind in stable jobs are building retirement accounts, equity in homes, and stable families. And here they are, clutching a dream that broke them. What actually works? I'm not trying to discourage you from building anything. I'm trying to show the truth. For most people, the highest probability path to wealth is the opposite of what's being preached. Here is the formula that has created more wealth for more people than any entrepreneurship course ever has. Earn a solid income. Live below your means. Invest the difference consistently over decades. It sounds boring, unglamorous. It won't make you an Instagram star, but it works. Let me prove it with numbers. You're 25 making $55,000 a year. You live on $40,000. Invest $15,000 annually. With a 10% historical market return, in 5 years, you have $97,000. In 10 years, $270,000. In 20 years, $950,000. In 30 years, you're a multimillionaire. Compare this to quitting your job to chase a business. You invest $40,000, work 90-hour weeks, make $0 the first 2 years. Year 3, $30,000. Year 5, $50,000. Year 10, if lucky, $80,000. And almost nothing saved because every dollar is reinvested. By 35, the investor has nearly $300,000 in assets. The entrepreneur has maybe $10,000 in savings and a business that may collapse tomorrow. Which path gives you more wealth? More freedom? Better health? The real millionaires don't quit burst. You hear about billionaires who started businesses and think you must do the same. But for every billionaire, there are 10 million people who lost everything chasing the same dream. Most wealthy business owners didn't quit their jobs immediately, tested ideas with minimal risk, started side projects, gradually scaled, had safety nets and experience. I, Daniel Ruth, built my wealth not by chasing dreams, but by investing in proven businesses, systematically, over decades. That is the difference between luck and reality, between fantasy and compounding returns. The correct way to start a business. If you insist on starting one, follow this framework. Keep your job until your business earns more than your salary. Desperation ruins decisions. Validate first, invest later. Test the market with minimal resources. Pre-sell products or services. Measure real interest. Invest only what you can afford to lose. Not your rent, retirement, or borrowed money. Usually, $500 to $2,000 is enough for testing. Set a deadline. 6 months, 12 months. If the business isn't growing, stop. Emotional attachment is the death of rational business decisions. Choose low capital, high margin models, service-based businesses, consulting, freelancing, skills over money. For example, you have a $55,000 job, hate it, but keep it. Nights and weekends, you freelance in your field. Spend $500 on a basic website. Call 10 potential clients. One hires you for $2,000, do excellent work, get referrals. 6 months later, you make $2,000 extra per month. Keep your job, invest the extra income, scale slowly. Only quit when you've proven your business generates more than your salary consistently. If your business is failing, stop lying to yourself. Look at numbers, not hope. Set a 90-day deadline. Fix only 3 broken things. If it's still failing, shut it down. Look for a job immediately. Don't wait until desperation. Extract lessons. Every failure is tuition for the next opportunity. Do not start another business immediately. Rebuild capital. Process lessons. Regain perspective. Failure doesn't make you a failure. It makes you someone who tested reality. The question is whether you learn or repeat mistakes. The truth about wealth. Here's the core principle I've lived by for 98 years. Invest in reality, not dreams. Earn well. Live below your means. Consistently invest in diversified, proven businesses. Time and math, not luck, will make you wealthy. Entrepreneurship should only complement this path, not replace it. The gurus want you to believe quitting your job is liberation. It isn't. It's a gamble with mostly negative odds. Smart people take the path of probability, patience, and consistent action. That's how wealth is built. Not fast, not glamorous, but real. Starting a business is not the path to wealth. Building wealth is the path to wealth. Never confuse the two.